Thank you for tuning into this video. My name is Gia. In this video, I want to share with you guys the importance of integrating our left brain and our right brain functioning and our masculine energy, masculine aspects of ourselves, and also our feminine aspects of ourselves. What I mean when I say feminine, masculine energy or right or left brain functioning, it's primarily referring to the ways in which we process information around us and also within us, the ways in which we make decisions, what kind of thought processes happen when we make our important life decisions, whether it's big or small, how much in tune we are with our emotions, how much in tune we are with our intuition, how much discipline do we have in our daily life. All of these things are important parts of our ascension process. And ascension process, as I've talked about in other videos, is really about expanding our consciousness. And this means self-mastery on our emotional body, on our physical body, and our mental body. And if you're curious about this, you can tune into a video. I'll put a link above and below that talks a little bit more about this. So in this video specifically, I'll be talking about how to reconnect it back to our feminine aspects, feminine energy, and our right brain usage. For those of you who are more operating from masculine energy and using left brain a lot more prominently. So as a quick overview, our left brain functioning is very much about logical thinking, analytical ways of processing information, whether it's within us or information around us at work, in school, in daily life. It's really about the calculator mind that processes or make decisions based on this calculation, this logical thinking. It's about discipline, and this left brain counterpart correlates with our masculine energy, which is all within us, whether it's prominent or not. This masculine energy, it's really about practicality, discipline, visionary, and action manifestation. On the other hand, the right brain functioning is very much about tuning in with our emotions, processing information through our feelings, intuition, and emotions again. And it's also about creativity, very non-logic oriented, but rather spontaneous ways of functioning. And this counterpart correlates with our feminine energy, which is also within us, whether it's prominent or not, is very much about intuition, this holding, embracing, warm energy that is about compassion and love and spontaneous flow. We can easily pick up on imbalance of these two aspects within us and through other people. And I think of it as this. Imagine yourself as a child, and this child yourself is being taken care of by your masculine aspect and your feminine aspect. If you are completely being taken care of by your masculine aspect with very, very little feminine aspect, you might grow up in a very structured, very rule-oriented, very result-oriented environment, yet have complete disconnection from your ability to freely play, tune into your intuition, connect to nature, and be creative in the way you express yourself. Another example might be this child might grow up to be very, very successful, very, very responsible in following the rules and the restrictions, yet again have complete disconnection from his or her ability to connect to their own intuition, their gut feeling, and different ways to express himself more freely, other than the structure that's been set by our society, structure that's been set by our family per se. If we look at it the other way, let's say a child grows up predominantly taken care of by the feminine aspect while the masculine aspect is completely absent, then this child might grow up very much in tune with his or her emotions and intuition and have deep feelings and able to help others and very in tune, yet might have extreme difficulties in setting boundaries in relationships, making decisions based on logic, making decisions consciously with pure intentions, or even holding and following through with visions, with dreams, because they're constantly shifted back and forth from their emotions and unable to ground themselves or set limits within themselves in their life. Here are some ways you can recognize where you are standing within the spectrum of the left brain and right brain functioning, as well as the spectrum of the masculine energy and the feminine energy, and learn where you're at, and what areas to activate more or practicing more. One of the questions you can ask is how you make your decisions. The thought process that you go through when you make life decisions. It can be as simple as what restaurant you go to eat, right? If you are more of a masculine energy or left brain oriented person, you might choose a restaurant that is about health or is of certain price range. Whereas if you're balancing both aspects, both masculine and feminine, you might try to find a restaurant that also adds the qualities of a food that you can enjoy, food where you feel comfortable eating, maybe the environment that you enjoy being in. Another example might be, let's say you are about to go into a relationship and deciding if this relationship is for your highest good. If you're operating primarily from your left brain or that masculine energy, you might almost go through a list of qualities that you're looking for your partner, specific things or qualities or characteristics, while you might be completely neglecting how you might feel when you spend time with this person or how much you connect with this person emotionally and also intellectually. And if you're choosing someone completely based on from your right brain function or your feminine aspect, you might just jump into a relationship completely driven by your emotions, but fail to look at some of the logical and foundational aspects that can allow this relationship to flow in a more harmonious manner. So this is one way you can look at where you are functioning within the spectrum of the two dual aspects, is to see how you process information and how you make decisions. Another aspect to look at is your daily life. Look at what proportion of your daily life consists of your practical duties and what portion of your daily life consists of something that you enjoy doing or something that is expressive or creative in your life. It doesn't mean that these two things can go together, but a lot of people actually have these two aspects divided, and oftentimes people tend to be spending a lot more time on their duties, their responsibilities, whether it's going to work, going to school, or doing certain works that they need to be doing, while completely neglecting or having very limited access to the time or space to express themselves creatively or go out in nature or simply play, where you can activate that right hemisphere. Another way to see where you're standing within the spectrum of the masculine and feminine and the left brain, the right brain, is to take a look at your upbringing. Take a look at how you were raised, how your upbringing and how your environment, your social environment affected you, your way of functioning as you grew up, and how it might be still affecting you currently today. I personally grew up in a very left brain oriented family environment, and there was a lot of praise that came from using your logic, thinking of the worst scenario possible, thinking of the best scenario possible before making decisions. If you did well, you were rewarded. It's very much about result-oriented mentality. I truly believe that I was naturally very much of a feminine energy person, or functioning primarily more on the right brain per se. I was born left-handed and I was forced to not use my left hand, and I just simply could not really tune into schoolwork. During my early years of school, I just could not retain any kind of information that I was taking in. And the first 18 years of my life was very much about getting myself to, it's almost like reformula or refunctioning the way my brain operates so that I can kind of fit myself into this left brain ways of thinking, left brain ways of making decisions, left brain ways of living. After these 18 years, I consciously decided to return back to my right brain hemisphere and to be able to balance those two. And I'm going to be talking about different ways that you can do this near the end of the video. So again, take a look at how your upbringing was like and reflect on if you feel like there was any kind of imbalance within your upbringing. I also have to mention our society today is very much operating from that masculine counterpart, that masculine energy. And you can see this in school systems. It's very result oriented. It's like you work hard, you study hard, and you get the results, you're praised. It's about memorizing, getting tested through memorization. It's very much of a text-oriented studying. And this masculine energy is also reflected in our just social system. For example, at work, it's very much about product-oriented once again. It's about making progress. It's about delivering results, and you get promoted if you do well. You don't get promoted if you don't. It's also a lot of countries' government systems are very much also operating from this masculine counterpart. It's profit oriented, really focused on gaining power and also externalizing that power rather than focusing on harmony within the country, within the world, this whole perspective of love and compassion. Some other questions you can ask yourself is, if you feel comfortable tuning into your emotions, a lot of people feel very uncomfortable talking about emotions or even just feeling emotions when they're alone. And it's about time to connect back to some of our emotions and learn to be okay with feeling emotions that are not comfortable. It's very important to start valuing the process of processing our emotions rather than focusing too much about the consequences or effect of expressing or feeling our emotions. Also ask yourself how much in tune you are with your intuition. Intuition is really about being able to perceive through what we see with our physical eyes, being able to listen to the intentions or emotions behind people's words. It's really about tuning into ourselves and others on a deeper level. So I want to share with you guys some different ways that we can reconnect back to our right hemisphere, to our feminine aspect, our feminine counterpart. Again, we have deep within us both masculine and feminine aspect. Yet it is either it's balanced or an imbalance. The first thing that I want to share is about engaging in something or an activity that uses your whole body, not just one side of your body. And this could be dance, it could be exercising and running. But I also want to add that running or any intense exercise usually tends to be very much of a goal-oriented or result-oriented exercise or activity. So if you're already doing this, I invite you to kind of balance that with a more feminine energy-oriented per se activities that is more about process-oriented exercise, which can be breathing exercises or meditation or yoga, anything that allows you to kind of hold the space within you where you can exercise a lot slower and become more aware of your body and listen to your body in the process. The second tip is to practice using more of your left side of your body. This left side of your body is directly connected to your right hemisphere. If you're not left-handed already, you can start by writing with your left hand and see what happens. You can start doodling with your left hand. You can play sports with your left foot or your left hand. Practice using the side of the body that you don't primarily use. And what's powerful about this practice is because whenever we engage in something that we're not really used to, for example, using our left hand, if you're not left hand dominant, then it kind of frees us from our need to have something perfect, or it kind of frees us from some sort of expectation, and it allows us to simply free flow and just observe what comes out. And this really is what right brain is about. It's about enjoying the process, allowing things to come forth spontaneously rather than needing to set boundaries and limitations with rules or expectations of our left brain. Another suggestion is to practice using I feel statement, like starting your sentence with I feel rather than I think. And one trap a lot of my clients tend to fall into is that they might start a sentence with I feel, yet complete the sentence with more like a logical or a thought statement. For example, you might say, I feel like you're being disrespectful to me, instead of saying, I feel upset that I'm being treated disrespectfully. So you see the difference? There's really a difference between allowing our emotions to be expressed rather than our brain or our left brain trying to keep us from being able to express ourselves fully. The fourth method is to engage in any kind of activity that allows yourself to express creatively. So it could be anything, just playing with a toy. It could be doodling on a sketchbook, on a paper, just free flow writing, like spontaneous storytelling, listening to music and visualizing what that music could look like. anything that you can do that allows you to express in a creative manner, and there really is no limitation to this. And during this process, if you find yourself feeling limited or almost like self-criticizing because it does not look or seem the way that you think it should be, then I think this also tells a lot about where you might be standing within the spectrum of the feminine and masculine, or the right and the left brain. The last tip that I want to share is to expose yourself to any kind of situations or people or pets, animals, anything that's going to help you feel the following emotions: love or compassion or gratitude. And these emotions are strongly connected to our heart space as well as our feminine aspect. It could be as simple as going out on an exploration with your dog or with your puppy to a new place, and notice how your puppy is feeling and just really tune into that emotion. It could even be spending time with someone you just love. There is such power and healing effect it has when we spend time with someone that we care about, someone that we love, or even having yourself help a stranger and experience the emotions that you feel from this event. Expose yourself to any kind of situations that allow yourself to feel love, compassion, or gratitude, or all of them, and see how you think or how you operate from this space. So again, ascension process is really about expanding our consciousness, and in order to expand our consciousness, we need to start thinking or operating or feeling in ways that we have not experienced or felt or perceived before. And this can really take place by using both sides of our hemisphere, both aspects, both masculine and feminine energy. I hope this video was helpful for you. If you have any questions, you can leave any comments or questions below. You can also reach out to me. I have a website that you can visit that has more information on different ways to reach out to me, and also some of the artwork that I've been creating. Thank you, and I'll see you next time.